Hey guys, sorry we're a couple minutes late there. We kind of got talking.
Wait,
It's kind
what's
of fun.
we?
Ooh.
Okay, it was my
Yeah,
fault. It was my fault. Addy was trying to keep us on track, me on track, and I kind of missed the cues. But yeah, it was. If you didn't notice, we have some pretty important people here in the community. I would say both of you, in my opinion, are way beyond the industry. It's like you guys love people in general and care for them. And
Yeah.
that actually meant a lot to me. And I figured, why not have a community thing, a positive show about what community
Yeah.
means to each of us, especially to you two. I have a feeling people kind of know, but it's just one of those things. I mean, for instance, everyone go ahead and pass it off and say hello to everybody.
Oh yeah. Light bearer.
there's a face I wanted to see. Thank you, Nick.
Light bearer.
Like a slight seizure.
Light bearer.
Uh,
Oh yeah, no, this week's been good so far. I'm glad to have you all on. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
You guys are the very heart of the community. And I know it's weird to think, for people to say that. I bet you get that a lot. I noticed when we were in Washington, Nick. You get swarmed. People.
Yeah.
It's kind of like recognize, kind of figurehead of the community, and everybody wants to come and say hi.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of that's kind of all part of it, right? I don't know.
Right.
It's still weird. It's always weird, but I like people being stoked and people being excited. And
Yeah.
I like to, I'm not going to take that away from anybody. There's people
Right.
there's YouTubers and podcasters and
Yeah.
people that if I met in real life, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm gonna go,
Right.
oh, I got to go meet them. And I would be excited and nervous. So, I'm like,
Yeah.
I get it. So, but
Yeah.
it's cool. And that's important. That's important part
Yeah.
of it.
It's got to be like the dichotomy, right? Not to channel my inner Neil Peart, right? But limelight, I can't pretend the stranger is the long-awaited friend, right? So it's that kind of duality of, people know you, but kind of balancing that all out for the community and just being there for people is a wonderful thing. So
Yeah. Well, I try my best.
and Addy does the same thing. Addy does the same thing. He is like
He
the
does.
the Gandalf of links.
Yeah,
and
he is.
kicking people out of streams. Yeah,
Addy-
you shall not pass. Yeah.
See, Addy is the hero that we all need. Addy is who we need in the community. I wish I could clone. If I could have 1,000 Addy toonies, I would be the happiest YouTuber advocate of all time.
my wife
Never-
would be too happy.
He he does the work, and he's in every stream, and he just does it with a smile, and he's so great. And then I go on Twitter and I see him on Twitter and he's yelling at Gretchen Whitmer and he's talking about the CDC data, and I'm like, Addy Tooney, just
Yep.
Addy
Who came
Tooney.
first? Who came first? Is it Addy Tuney or Grimmgreen that really started showing up first? I'm curious about this. I never did ask this.
Way before me. I didn't start vaping until 2013.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 2013. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, yeah, I started in 2009, and I mean, I don't want to sound cocky, but when people say that, oh, you've been around in the community, you're a big part of the community, I'm like, yeah, I know. Like I was at the very, 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 I was one of the first 100 vapors in the United States when ECF was just like 4,000 or 5,000 people, and there was a few little sub forums, and that was it. And I started doing YouTube videos, and we started this little thing. And I watched it grow, and I'm so proud of it, and I love it. It's fantastic. And so many, I've met so many people, and other people have met other people, and it's crazy how almost how worldwide it gets with the people that you know. It's really like a worldwide community.
And we were talking about that a little bit pre-show, about the people we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, about the people. Yeah, people I legitimately miss. Man, I hope they're doing good. Like EKG builds we were talking about.
Yeah.
Wonder how EKG is.
He's a good guy.
I think that's been the good thing to come out of, the current situation with everybody is everybody has been able to extend by Zoom or by watching shows. the community. Like I know we've done a lot of things over in the UK, and just kind of reaching over there and getting to know people over there and stretching out, who we know, where we know them from, and it's been a real positive aspect out of a not very positive time. So
yeah, the world got smaller. It's weird because you'd think it'd get bigger considering you can't get outside much, but it actually got so much smaller.
Technology, man.
And as things picked up, I'll say my respect for you has gotten much greater as time went on because I didn't. Wow, it's tough to believe how I can't imagine how busy you can get from time to time.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a lot, but it's fun. I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. I really like to do it. It's a labor of love, and just getting to see people's journey or like reaction to quitting smoking, because man, if you're not a smoker, you can't possibly understand what that feels like. It's hard. You can't.
And that's like, the thing, right? That's like the thing that kind of makes our community so tight. It's like that feeling you get when you're finally able to crush up that fucking pack of cigarettes, throw it in the garbage, and how good it feels. And you just want all your friends and everybody to do the same thing, right? Yeah. And then, so we all have all this in common. And it's like, man, it feels good to finally help this guy because I know he's been smoking forever. And I don't know, it's just that feeling. Yeah.
It's very motivating.
Yeah.
It's very motivating. And you get like, you get like, you get like greedy for it. You're like, I want more people to quit. I want that, I want that feeling more. Like I want more people emailing me being like, bro, I quit. I'm like, yes, more.
Well, it's the people that don't smoke, the only thing you could do to compare it is when they tell people, "Oh, just cold turkey it or just quit." Stop drinking your coffee, stop drinking your energy drinks. They're not going to do it any more than we are. So it's like,
and it's the same way that caffeine helps people function. I get it. I functioned, I needed caffeine to function for a really long time. I couldn't go without it. I had to have it.
Well, we have several aficionados, coffee aficionados. You have Breeze Tones and Enders.
Breeze Tones, yeah. Breeze Tones is on a whole other level. Yeah. Talk about a really interesting dude. Breeze Tones is he is a genius with coffee. I messaged him. We were chatting about coffee, and I was like, man, I can't wait to see how much I learned from you about coffee.
I'm allowed one thing at a time. Right now, Addie's got me into the DIY thing, so I got to step back a little bit because that's already going to be a third mortgage right there.
DIY, yeah. DIY is fun and frustrating, and really rewarding too. Like when you do a good flavor.
I mean, my second mix of true DIY that wasn't just something I just threw together that I had for flavors was I made a chocolate caramel donut, and Lady Liberty is vaping it right now in that Nevermore. It's just spot on like a Dunkin' Donut chocolate donut. It's right there.
That's awesome.
Kind of surprised me. And to hit chocolate, I didn't expect to get that in the first try.
Chocolate's tough.
Yeah, so I was pretty impressed with myself on that one. Made me excited. Like, some other people that are dabbling. Yeah. We've got quite a few people that are dabbling in DIY. Yeah. And the Addy's a big part of why that happened. And then you got, KVTV.
Well, you got some fresh tutoring from KVTV, from Clown and the boys, from Sifu and Chris.
Sifu.
Well, I get to take some credit here. I got Clown to start working on a chocolate eclair because of this recipe. So, nice. So I actually inspired him to try a new flavor profile. So I'm actually pretty impressed with. Yeah, I'm happy with what I did.
That healthy competition though. That's like part of. That's like one of the.
I got lucky.
Healthy competition. That's what the old coil builders used to do too. It's like we were talking like Squidood back in the day. It was like Kent and Squidood and Dwayne, and they just try to be one-upping each other
every day.
Man. Oh my god! Oh,
the coil building.
Holy shit!
Yeah. I
miss Dwayne and how he used to taunt people back in the day.
Yeah, he did. He taunted him. He
He
sure
was
could
good at it.
talk a lot of shit.
And that very first coil competition that him and Twisted Messes and Erica from Local Vape had all those prizes. Oh, it was
Oh yeah, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's I like those competitions and stuff. It keeps people fresh. It's kind of like what I kind of missed, and I will admit, I did watch your, the music video you were in. I watched it again.
Yeah, that's everything I regret about vaping. That is ridiculous.
What?
No.
I remember that.
Look, it was whatever. It was fun, and it was a different time back then. Like that was a really carefree time in vaping. Like it was ridiculous.
It was a Wild West. Wild West.
It was more. Yeah, it was when they talk about the Wild West. That like really was.
For those interested, there's a screenshot of the video right there. I mean, I know that
I want to see this.
Grim can't see it, but you'll see it in a second. But I took a screenshot of the video, and honestly, what is the best part about it is it's something you would never expect. Like it's out of the genre categories you'd expect from Mr. Nick Green here. It just, the genre is just way off. But actually, I love the way you did it. You did a great job. And the bloopers at the end, where you're like, what am I supposed to do? That was awesome. So,
yeah, and it was like he talked me into doing this because he's like, oh, Blake Vapes is going to show up and do this part for it, And I was like, well, he's like, V-God's going to be there. Fresh Skater J is going to be there. He's like, all these people are going to be there. You have to be there. Blake Vapes is going to be there. I'm going to be there. We're going to have a bunch of models, and they're going to have BG, and we're going to make like this crazy rap video, and it's going to be hilarious. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, that sounds pretty fun. All right. And so I get up there, and he's like, here, you have to memorize this whole verse to film it. You have like 10 minutes. Like, what? That is ridiculous. And so it took me forever. People were just getting annoyed because, I had to learn this whole verse, this whole rap. And so they edited it pretty well to make it look like I really knew what I was doing. But that was a silly time.
Yeah.
Silly, but you know what? It was fun. And that's something I wish we had more of. We don't have enough of those fun times anymore.
Yeah, we don't do fun times anymore. It's hard without shows, Shows used to be like the hangout time when you have fun and see new things and meet new liquids and meet new people, and like that. Not having that is rough.
Yeah, it is.
It truly is.
Right?
And the live music thing, I know it's killing Casey.
Yeah, no live music, no nothing, no no getting to hang out.
Yeah, it's like last night, if anybody didn't catch it on Tenacious TX channel, check it out, Stan's channel there. It was Emily, what was her last name? Emily Drinker was on last night and did some live music. And I didn't get to, I always go out every summer with my buddy. And we always watch some live music shows, local live music. I didn't get that this year, and I didn't realize how much I missed it until last night when I watched that. Stan, I got your, see? It looks to Ardent with a safety cap, because he was generous enough to send some safety caps to make sure I didn't cut myself.
The Ardent.
I got my fingers still left. Yeah.
I feel bad. My first interaction with Stan was he sent me his what was that? What was the first RDA that Stan released? The Lucid RDA. The Lucid RDA, that weird one where you can unscrew the posts and put it all weird back and forth, and it's like vertical coils.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stand it. And I told him, I was like, I hate this thing, bro. I hate this thing. And I didn't even know him. I felt so bad. And he's like, oh yeah, I mean, it's really more of a tinkerer's RDA. And I was like, yes, that's what it is. And I ended up like, I felt bad. I was like, it's just not for me. And I was like, I don't want to review it because I don't want to, I don't want to go on YouTube and say anything negative about it, because I know that that'll hurt you, but it's just something that's not for me,
Lady Liberty corrected me. That's the Reverie. That's the Ardent. So
Ardent,
I had to,
right.
yeah.
Good thing you got her around, Tim.
Yeah, get that correct.
Yeah. So I had to correct it before I got yelled at later. Yeah. Which this has got Hogarth's yogurts in it. Have you got to try? You got to try some of that, didn't you? Some of Mitch's juices.
I have not got to try any of them.
That actually, the Basic B is actually extremely good. Apparently, I was saying it wrong last night on a Thursday on a live, so or Friday, whatever.
Yogurt liquids used to be huge back in the day.
Yeah, this isn't yogurt. This is
the yogurt phase.
This one here is pumpkin pie cheesecake, but it tastes like a straight up
wow.
pumpkin pie. I mean, legit pumpkin pie. It's actually really good.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Dang.
gotta give him a shout out for that because that one there is. I didn't expect to love that one, and I kind of do. So
Yeah. I like being surprised like that. Like, whoa, I actually really like this flavor.
yeah,
Who thought? Who'd have known? Yeah, we
Yeah,
had a
who'd
big yogurt phase. Does he do any yogurt?
he won't admit to it. He has some that has some flavors in it, but because of him getting picked on about the name and called Hogarth's
Right.
yogurts, he refuses to call one a yogurt flavor. So he'll
Right.
never
I
have
get
one.
you. That's funny.
How can you
I
call
get
us
it.
a yogurt? Yogurt's in your name, and it sucks. That's what he's trying to avoid.
Hogarth yogurt. That's funny. Stand your ground, Hogarth's yogurt. Stand your
And-
ground.
I
And
love
in the
I
river.
love
I'm on
it.
your side.
I loved it when you kicked on board for the Pony on Acid because honestly, I hadn't really heard anybody actually talk about it too much on any shows, but I'd already been. This was already one of my
Dude.
go-tos before then.
POA. So good. So good. Dwayne showed me that juice.
Did he?
We were at a vape show in New Orleans. Can't remember where it was, but he saw that Smacks was going to be there. He's like, bro, we got to go try Pony on Acid. So he went and bought like 9 bottles of it. And I tried it. And then I went and bought like the rest that they had. It was like 6 more bottles. It was so good. Dwayne, I can't thank you enough for Pony on Acid. It was so good.
It is. It's an excellent flavor. That's just it. Flavors. I mean, that's something that you don't realize. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been recently diagnosed type 2. As of, I
Sure.
figured it out. I got my test results back and found out before my doctor knew on Thanksgiving Day. So I had to be limited on Thanksgiving Day and ever since. So
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, wow.
down 35 pounds since Thanksgiving Day, though. So I'm good.
Hot damn, that's
Wow.
good.
Wow.
That's
I could
amazing.
foresee a 6-pack
Yeah,
coming back. So that's amazing to think that could happen.
Get ripped.
Now, I know you finally got to try Will's toffee.
Yeah. Finally. It's really good.
It is.
It's super
it's
good.
really And
Everybody,
if
a
you
lot of people were bugging me to try that.
there are very few liquids I absolutely love better on like a series build, and this is one of them. This is by far my favorite. Yeah, if you do it on a hot build, it brings forth that toffee even more, and just you gotta try it.
Really? I'm going to turn this wattage up. Oops, excuse me. Pardon me. Burp light. Of course,
Yeah.
I don't have any little
He's a good
screwdrivers
guy.
anymore.
Sorry, I know we're talking a little bit about vape, but I figure if you got these guys on, you got to talk a little about it. This isn't going to be an anti-vape episode. Sorry to anyone who's watching. We do have viewers that don't always talk, but
Sorry.
aren't really into vape. But it's actually about feeling good. The community and stuff is part
Yeah.
of this. But these two are not limited to the community
makes me feel
because
good.
I have seen Grim stop streams when someone's having an issue. Like when my you even stopped your stream and talked about it when my brother lost his daughter.
Oh.
Not unborn daughter. So
Oh.
yeah, and that meant a lot to me. I started a prayer with his page. I started like a prayer link, whatever, and then you wouldn't believe how many people actually posted on that. That meant a lot to my brother because he was struggling, you know. So
Yeah. That's
and
rough,
Addy,
man. Just
Addy
rough
with
things
his.
happen.
Do you have the link for Michelle's doldrums?
Yeah, Michelle.
Yep.
Because
Winter
that's
doldrums.
coming up
Yep.
Uh-huh.
for
I posted
suicide
it
awareness.
once or twice already. I'll continue to post it up. 'Cause
Yep.
We love
Uh,
Michelle.
It's $5. It's not limited to a local
yeah.
venue this year, so people will be able to get in and watch this and listen to some live music from Philadelphia. And it's just going to be a good thing. All the money goes towards suicide awareness, so it's a really good benefit. This year of all this past year has not been a more important year to actually worry about suicide. We haven't got numbers, and I think they're not releasing them on purpose because we know those numbers are high. People
They would never lie to us. They were trying to,
Yeah.
not tell us the truth or
Everything else is
anything.
different.
You mean like the don't wear a mask because we have a shortage
Yeah.
thing? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That got to me. So
Yeah, that bothered me. Did you
it
read
still
that?
bothers me.
Did you see that Fauci thing? We read this thing on Tuesday Bro Newsday about Fauci. Like, why did he backpedal on the masks and stuff like that? It was really interesting.
It was interesting.
It was interesting talking about science. I've been reading a lot of articles recently about like when people say follow the science, like what does that really mean? Like What is that? And they really like dig into like scientists are bad at explaining, you know, what they find, and you need like subject matter experts to be able to decipher this stuff and explain it in a way. And that's why you get away with the American Heart Association seeing the data and going, oh, you know, this leads to heart attacks because it's a Stanton Glantz study. And that's why we need people able to decipher science. Anyway, it was just really, really interesting.
Having had a heart stent put in, but it had nothing to do with smoking or anything. It had to, my heart stent and stuff had to do with low blood sugar issues I had when I was younger. Apparently, I'm one of those people that at a younger age, the sugar turns into your the hardening of your arteries. But anyhow, having that to keep my blood pressure down, vaping, actually, when I don't vape, it goes up. When I vape, it goes down. So you tell me how that translates to heart attack. It's the opposite because it's calming.
It shows, there's science that shows that it's good cardiovascular. It's good for your cardiovascular system to switch to nicotine vaping. And even then you can lower your nicotine even further. The thing is, if you're used to nicotine, it does good things for you.
If you're not.
And that's why it's like not everybody should use it. That's like that people get addicted to it through tobacco cigarettes.
It's no different if you're sensitive to caffeine. If you're sensitive to nicotine, don't use it.
Yeah. And I'm more sensitive to caffeine now. I have to drink decaf now. Caffeine really messes with me.
You know what? You know, really burns my biscuits is to turn into your stream, Nick, and watch right before I watch you an advertisement for like Lucy gum. I'm like, what the hell?
That is upsetting, isn't it?
It is.
You don't like the stream, but you're okay with selling ad revenue off of it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
That makes no sense. YouTube, like YouTube doesn't know what to do, and that's crazy that Lucy Gum is an ad before my stream, but you know I have to demonetize my stream. That's ridiculous.
Well, how many of us have watched any of the streaming services? Caught the ads, anti ads, see them on there and just start yelling at your TV. You start yelling at your TV, and it's like there's no way you can control it.
It was really bad. Like at the height of EVALI in California, they doubled down on EVALI, and they're throwing these really fast moving ads, and it's like showing kids in hospital beds, and then kids vaping, and then kids in gas masks, and then kids vaping, and it's like 80% of kids that vape with flavors, and it's like lung injuries across the United States. The kids vape with flavors in hospital beds and lung injuries and the real cost of vaping. And I'm just thinking, oh my God. Oh my God.
I know, it's crazy. I watched a video yesterday, and one of the scientific speakers, he mentioned, the same thing. Valley always comes into it still, like after
if you look it up, I haven't checked it recently, but within the top 5 for the longest time, you search up current vape news, it will show up as EVALI within the first top 5 or 10. And without a retraction either, until you click on it, and then there's a little sublet at the very bottom if you read all the way through it. But as far as the headline, it looks bad.
Yeah,
but that goes right back to what Nick was talking about. Those when you look at those studies, unless you have a degree or somebody to be able to dissect them and explain them to you, you read off the top headline, you're like, okay, that must be what it is.
Yeah, and they don't expect you really to read any further because they give you their breakdown, and then they say, well, here's the study, and then when you click on that study, it's like a medical journal study. They are difficult to decipher. You get the abstract, you get methodology. Normal people would just probably click away.
Yeah,
but they can present it because they assume that you're not going to sit and read that whole study, or you don't have someone to like decipher it for you. That's why we have people like Brad Rudu from University Louisville, I think it is. And he's done a lot with the CDC data and with other studies and the Stanford study and things like that. And he can break it down and describe it pretty well. But it's important to have that.
Well, yeah, because otherwise it's like buying a house. I challenge anybody. Nobody has read all the documentation it takes to buy a house.
No, not a
You
chance.
just sign
I
it,
definitely
right?
did not. You just sign it, right?
So,
You sign it and you think, someone smarter than me did the work on this already.
Right.
I can just sign it.
Yeah.
Right.
Patrick, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. There are some links in here, and there will be some upcoming mental health streams coming up on this channel as well as on the Vaping Misfits channel. Ours will be April 1st with Texas Mama. We're going to do another autism awareness for her charity stream, and then there's going to be one coming up on May 1st on the other stream for Men's Health and a few other charities. But currently this exact stream today is more about just the way people care. Like, you're hearing this, and this might sound like vape only, but the reason that they actually are mentioning so much of it is because they know it helps people and they care so much about people's health.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. Like I've been saying, when I went to the hearings and talked to even one of the Republican representatives at the Senate in New Hampshire, he was the best one to break it down for me, and I've had a few break it down for me since. They're sick of hearing these studies. So please tell your stories if it is a situation like that. And that really goes for anything you believe in. Tell your personal story.
Personal stories go a long way, especially with who's in power, especially when you have generally right now in power is what we have Democrats. We have Biden in office. We have Kamala Harris. We have a Republican Senate or a Democrat majority Senate, Democrat majority in the House. It's like they are very touchy-feely. We want to hear your stories. And if we can get as many people as possible to tell these stories, and that's why I love what Lindsay Stroud does with the Golden Oldies Capital Tour. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Lindsay Stroud because she's awesome too.
Yep. She is awesome.
Like, stories like that, personal stories.
Well, he told me point blank, that one senator did, and the first one I actually held up an Turk liquid, and I got to speak when I wasn't even supposed to speak, and I completely flipped it that day and stopped it temporarily, at least for the flavor ban. But that talking to him that day was they're sick of hearing all the spouting off. We got our studies, they had their studies. It doesn't matter. They don't know what to believe, but you tell your story and maybe back it up with a little bit of information from your doctor. Like actual facts, that goes a lot farther to prove the fact that there's actually some health benefits rather than just
100%.
Like, for instance, we know that we as vapors know that part of the reason is there's no taste factor in the testing when they get the high metal content and everything in the. Right. We would taste that. We wouldn't hit that burn. But they don't know that.
Using it correctly. They're not using it correctly.
New England Journal of Medicine, bogus. That's retracted as well.
And there's no way to actually, even on our side, we wouldn't be able to actively tell you whether or not the flavor's good when you're running it through a machine. It's just a guess. So there really is no true way to tell.
And it's rats, and it's horrible. Like the pictures of these rats jammed into these tubes for 6 hours, having horrible burnt carcinogens forced through their lungs. It's like, no, that's not real. No vapor vapes that way.
Yeah.
You're not using it correctly. That's like draining the motor oil out of a car and then just, revving the engine and having it seize up and go, look, engines don't work.
Take away all the coolant.
Well, no,
that's not how you
or welding. It. Welding.
That's not real world.
The final product, you could clean it up and eat off it. But when you're around a welder, you're going to get some fumes and stuff. And it's the same general idea.
Well,
right.
Whether you love him or you hate him, Jay Hayes gave us probably the best video for what researchers don't understand.
Yeah.
Came into his shop. We don't understand why these are burning out. Yeah. They don't have any idea about how the mechanism works or anything. And they just go off of how they built the study.
Well, and they have, and the science, the people doing the studies don't have any idea how they work. There's a few that do. I mean, there's some studies, there's like epidemiological studies. Professor, what's his name? Peter Hayek in Italy does some stuff, and Farsalinos has done stuff too as well, who understands, the way that it works. Yep. So there are some, but there's some researchers apparently at NYU that just don't get it.
But even the best study, you can't factor in flavor. And that makes a difference because we won't hit.
It does.
If we taste a burnt coil, we're going to change the coil or the cotton.
Yeah, 100%.
They're not
We're
gonna
not just
do
going
that.
to continuously keep vaping it. That's ridiculous. That's not real world. That's insane.
And they can't
I
test
think
that.
that's the way that this works.
A machine can't tell if the flavor's good.
Mm-mm.
So there's no way to truly do it. So that's where I really push for
Yeah.
the stories to be told. Speaking of, I'm involved in the committee for Vermont as it moves forward with pushing the flavor ban again. I just found out last Tuesday. So
Oh, dang.
they tried calling me. I missed the preliminary talk about it, but I'm still going to be on board. So that's actually a
Good.
really positive thing. They actually called me back. A couple of the senators mattered enough to the point where they put my name in a hat.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that makes me
see,
happy.
That's good. Talk. Yeah.
So,
My,
you know,
my
I think
Senator Schumer, and all I get is bogus canned responses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. See, I know that feel because for a long time I had Kamala Harris rather, and Feinstein, and that's the only two people I could, in my state. Now you can get even more local. Like you email LA city councilors who you get the same canned responses from. I mean, city councilors and city lawmakers are the ones who are promoting and passing these flavor bans, and all it takes is one person from Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids to be there, one person from Lung Association to be there. They pass a little flavor ban, no one noticed, and that's it. It's just done on a real local level.
I shut down a good one. They brought in a dark-skinned teenager, two of them, with a turban on, everything, all ready to put on camera. They had a camera in the room, but because I was being vocal and showing up every week, they wound up taking them out of the room, and I never actually got to speak publicly in the room because they knew that I was going to have some feedback on it. And it was funny. In a Vermont hearing, they brought them into the room, and they were going to do a live video conference thing with them in the room. And they changed their mind to put them out in the hall after they realized I wasn't going to just sit there and be quiet. Yeah, it was
Getting
actually
too noisy.
Yeah. And it was because one of the senators,
right,
the one that actually called me, this week, it was the same senator, and he actually asked to let me speak, but because I'd actually talked before the hearing started to the person ahead of the bill, and I didn't realize that's who that was. She goes, no, she wouldn't let me talk at that.
Those flavor bans are just frustrating to sit through.
Yep.
I've sat through so many frustrating flavor ban hearings where all of the city councilors talk, and they get, just like I said, they get someone from Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. They paraded a bunch of kids down there recently, or, at the last flavor ban hearing pre-COVID, all these little kids in t-shirts, and they all spoke, and it's like, it's ridiculous. And there's a few people, that spoke against it, and
New
then they just
Hampshire
pass
one
it and you go,
the Juul rep was against flavors because that's when they did their whole changeover of their flavors.
yeah.
He was there, and I completely put him in his spot.
That's
right there.
ridiculous. Why would they do that?
Who smokes their first cigarette and actually enjoys smoking the cigarette because of the flavor?
Yeah.
I just realized something. Hold on a second. You guys go ahead and talk for a second.
so about Tim.
Yeah. Anyway, look how unprepared this guy is. Who's this joker?
Oh, I like how Lady Liberty's out there in chat. Disrespect on him. That's hysterical. So how was your week? John?
Man, my week's been good. I've had about, I'm going to have 5 weeks off class, and then I graduate in May with my college degree, my first in my family since my mother to graduate with a college degree.
Brother. Congratulations.
So,
awesome.
yeah, so I went back, and I just, because I had a career-ending injury, so gave me the time to be able to do that, and it's just been awesome. So I got no complaints.
Wow, right on. That's awesome, man.
So,
see,
I think
do something like that.
I think the awesome thing that I love about the community, and I have ever since I got involved with the community, is that some things you join, like hobbyists join things, and they're like, well, you need this certain thing to ski the right way, or and it's kind of like a closed, it's like a closed box. They've got the people that are the experts. Sure. What I love about the community is it's like, oh, you don't know that? Well, come and Zoom with me, and I'll teach you how to do that. I'll teach you how to build, or I'll teach you how
100%.
to let's get you where you want to go.
Yep.
I think although people may perceive that there are tiers where people are kind of like a closed clique, it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when you opened up the Discord, Nick,
Yeah.
and people got to get in the voice chat with like, I think I was in there with like Poon Sauce was in there, and I heard somebody comment, "Wow, you guys are just so cool." He's like, "I'm just a guy doing a YouTube show. That's it, you know." And I think that's what people miss, and also what draws people to the community, which is these are people that really care. You know, they'll take you as you are. You don't got to be slicked back or, you know,
100%.
like the music they like or
Yep.
or be able to, you know, it's a great thing, and it's a great thing that you know that we've been able to hang on to through all of the ups and downs.
Yeah,
Through all of our frustrations, you know.
I agree.
I do have to
I'm a
admit,
big
I do
advocate
love the
for that.
fact that every time that Grimmgreen here, Nick mentions, brings on another album from the past, one of the ones you've enjoyed. And
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
it's
the
like
records.
banger, banger, banger. It's like these are ones I used to listen to nonstop, and I did almost exactly the same thing. MC Hammer, you know, Ice and everything, and then I kind of got into like Clutch and Motorhead, and it's like,
Motorhead.
and then all these bands, and every time you bring out an album, it's like, yes, it's like
Yeah,
I
dude.
didn't recognize all the songs at first until you mentioned them, but then when you brought out this Thursday, I recognized the album art. I said,
The Cathedral album? That
Yeah.
Cathedral album?
Yeah.
Dude, Cathedral. I have a complicated relationship with them, but they're awesome.
So Nick,
Yeah.
I gotta get Casey on a Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
Casey, we'll go through some of these concert tickets. I think Casey will get.
I like that you keep them all like that. I have I don't know where all my concert tickets are. I found them all recently. I keep them in like a little book. But yeah, I love hanging on to concert tickets. Man, I miss concerts.
I know Michelle was saying, you know, she misses the live show and being able to play with her band so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's killing your wife.
And I think that's on both sides. People want to go see live music, and the people that are making the live music want to make it.
Yeah,
you know. So we're
it's
just so
not for
ready to
lack
have
of desire. You know.
Yeah, you know.
Well, it's like in New Zealand and a few other places. They've had live concerts. They had like New Zealand just had a big 5,000 person arena festival thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain with the good, you know, with good controls, you could do that. If you can go to the big box store with your mask and the employees like the mask hanging half off their face and everybody's packed in there, I'm pretty sure we could have a live music venue.
I know. People just social distance less and less. I try to still, but it's like if we're both wearing a mask, I can just squeak by you real quick. It's all good.
Right.
You know,
your wife's in chat now.
It's fine. I'm not just, you know, I'm not standing right next to you the whole time.
Yeah, there she is.
Live music is
happy
coming
late
back.
birthday again.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was that was awesome having her birthday be that day. I just felt bad because he did run over just a smidge.
I did run over a smidge. It was still
I called
cool.
it early.
Our friends came over. We got to hang out and eat sushi and have cake. And I made a cake and it was amazing. And I shot a video of myself making a cake. I think I'm just going to put it on my YouTube because it's awesome.
All right, Casey, this is just for you so you can get a good laugh. Okay, you ready? Found this on Addy Tuney's. I was trying to look for pictures of Addy Tuney, older pictures of Addy Tuney, so it wasn't all about Grimmgreen and being young and green. But this Toot Life shirt, they got this picture of Grimmgreen in a Toot Life shirt, and I just thought, yeah, this is just too awesome. I gotta clip that. So that's courtesy of your buddy here, right in, you know, right here on the.
Oh yeah, Toot Life.
Yep.
Yep.
And I just thought, I gotta put that on there.
Remember taking that picture back when I had hair.
My favorite video, which I've talked about before, is Nick and Casey with Nick interviewing Casey.
Oh,
like
way
like
back.
The first one,
The first Vape Fest, back in 2010.
Yep.
That was for ages ago. That was another time. That was the very beginning of all of this nonsense.
One day, one of the nights that we were watching your show, and I watched That's What She Said afterwards. You know how it goes in the auto playlist and just does a random video?
Yeah.
It started a video with you and Ruby on it, right? All in the same room, though. Like way back when.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Way back in the day. Who was there? Was Matt and Vanessa there?
Yes. Matt and Vanessa were there, too.
Oh, yeah. Matt and Vanessa and Ruby were there, yeah.
And I just, it just...
that was way back in the day.
Feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was way back in the day.
One of my faves is still Niagara Falls.
Yeah, me too. Man, I love Niagara Falls. I had a great time there.
I kind of really enjoyed all the footage and stuff when he went to New Zealand and stuff with Bogan and
New
Matt
Zealand
and everyone.
was amazing.
Just
You
seeing
guys
all
got-
the little video.
How many people can say they slept with Bogan?
Yeah.
No, we did. It was the only hotel room, and it had a one king size bed. So we're like, all right.
I love the video you guys. Love the video you guys did just before you left. That was just too good.
It was fun. And Bogan's a laugh, man. We had so much fun. And New Zealand's incredible. Incredible country. Oh my God. I want to go back so bad.
I want to get back to traveling and can't.
I want to so bad. I know. I miss traveling. I really, really do. And I didn't think I would, but like, man, I miss traveling. New Zealand. I miss going to Sweden.
I've got a friend who lives in Auckland who's been here, right, been to my house and stayed here and stayed in the U.S. for a few weeks. And he keeps trying to get me to go over there, but one is the cost. The other is I've never been in a commercial plane. I've been in a seaplane once and 3 Apaches. That's all I've ever been in. So being in a commercial plane, I don't know why that would scare me over the others, but still it does.
No, it's fine, man. I mean, it's a long flight. It's a long flight in coach to New Zealand. Let me tell you. It is a long flight. It's a long flight to Sweden in coach.
I only laughed because I flew to Washington and I was like, I was glad I scored some really cheap first class tickets because I was like, wow, look how they're packing them in there. Jeez.
Yeah.
That a long rod. They were just shoving people into the back of the plane. Get back in there.
It is. It's close quarters, man.
That makes me think I'm going to have to save more money for this trip because, yeah. And I agree with you, Disco Potato. I miss hugs from friends, too. Being able to hang out.
Yeah, I miss hugs from friends. Disco Potato.
I saw a video today about, kind of which is why we do what we do with mental health. Is a guy was talking. He said, I'm in the house, but the house is not a great place for me to be because then I'm alone with my thoughts of what could happen, what might happen, what maybe happen. It will never happen, and he's like in a parking lot somewhere in his car. He's like, I just had to get out of the house. I totally understand that. I think more now than ever, people are understanding that kind of pressure that, and unfortunately, a lot of people deal with on a regular basis, even before this. They're starting to understand a little bit about it, and so that's part of the community too. There's a lot of people with mental health and substance abuse issues that have kind of helped themselves, overcome those things or at least cope with them during this time. So
that's why we created the Discord.
That's tough.
Got to keep busy, right? I mean, find stuff to keep yourself busy.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things that I've even noticed you guys have transitioned some on this too, where as everything happened with the pandemic kicking in, and even with what you dealt with a little while back with the burnout, a little bit more of the mental health side of it falls into play, and we're feeling a little bit more compassionate to make sure that everybody's okay all the time.
Yeah, you want to make sure that people are okay. I know. It's one of those things like I try to send out as much liquid as possible. Like when New York first hit the flavor ban, I got flooded with a bunch of emails of, I can't fucking get my liquid anywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I'm like, all right, well, let's try to send some liquid to New York, see what happens. And so I just tried to send as much as I possibly could because I hate the idea of people not being able to it's so simple just to get your liquids. It's like,
speaking
it
of
keeps us off of cigarettes. How do people not get that?
You want to throw some CASA links in there because you got some stuff going on in New York, and we have a couple more other ones going on.
Dude,
probably not a bad idea.
There's a bunch.
Sign up to CASA and help.
There's a bunch going on right now.
Another thing I know from personal experience is if you hear something in your state from some way or another, and you don't see it on CASA, let them know because they don't catch everything right away. Sometimes it passes by, so let them know so they can put it out there for everybody. I've done that for Vermont twice now, and once for New Hampshire. So
it's kept low key in a lot of states for a reason. They don't want people showing up.
Yeah, they don't want people showing up.
They passed that ban up there that without anybody even knowing it existed. Nobody knew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's what they try to do. And I mean, I'm assuming we all watched You Don't Know Nicotine. It happened in that movie. They tried to go to a flavor ban hearing, and they got that email that it was canceled, but it wasn't really canceled or something.
Yeah.
They completely...
Oh, they did that to
ridiculous.
us here in Vermont. They did that to us.
Changed the
They
date?
said that the flavored ban was canceled. What they did was they merged it with flavored tobacco, which benefited us.
Right.
Because when they moved it over from one segment of the one room to the other, a different part of the Senate, different committee, when they switched it over, they actually merged them. But then we had tobacco representation there, which actually benefited us a lot because they had some money backing it.
Right. Well, it's pay to
You know,
play, man.
yeah.
That sucks.
That's one of the sorry things about American lawmaking systems is that they could name a bill like Save the Children and then totally gut that bill, replace all the language in it, and still have it voted on.
Oh, you mean like the Save the Whales from the oil rigs thing that they did in
Oh yeah,
Florida?
no oil rigs in Florida. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you have to sign up for
Or
flavor ban.
in New York, you throw it in with your budget bill, the federal
At
budget
3
bill.
in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
but
wasn't
it's
just, wasn't just 3 in the morning. It was
It's
3 in the morning,
unbelievable.
and if you didn't show, and these are elderly people, most of them,
You
you
count on
didn't
your
show,
vote.
it counted. Yeah, no, you couldn't even count it as a no show or a no vote.
Yeah.
It was counted as a yes. That is complete BS.
That's ridiculous. And in California, there was a flavor ban in 2015, I think. It was Senator Mark Leno's bill, SB 140 or SB 740 or something. And it couldn't. And then the last time they tried to pass it before he finally decided to pull it was they tried to pass it in like a closed doors meeting, like no public hearing, no nothing. We're just going to shut everybody out and vote on this thing.
right.
Before he pulled it out. I'm like, man, why? Like, that's such a shady thing to do.
Yeah, big time. I thought poor Nick was going to have a stroke that week.
I was raging against Mark Leno for a while.
I will admit
Not
there have
to-
been many days where the rage sweat and the truth butter get flowing so bad after watching your show. I'll
Let
be
me tell ya,
fine. And
I
I'll be
never
fine, and
thought-
then all of a sudden,
I never thought I'd know so many attorney general names, governor names. Like, good Lord, I never thought I would send multiple tweets to governor of Michigan and have to learn all these governors' names. It's ridiculous.
although how do you?
So before we get lost on that, and that I think that's a good point, is being on the advocacy side of it, Nick, and dealing with that, and Addy too. You know, how do you keep with all that negativity of legislation hitting down? How do you keep passion for the community? Is the community that drives you, people that haven't had the chance to experience vaping? Is that what keeps your drive going? Is that what you think about when all the advocacy and all that heavy weight comes in?
I mean, for me, and I think Nick feels this way too. It's about the smokers. It's about the people that haven't found vaping yet. We keep it alive for them, and we want them to have that feeling that we had when we finally broke those chains and we didn't need that cigarette anymore.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I'll echo what Addy said. It's 100% about that. It's about, and I've said this so many times on live streams, but I think every person that smokes should get to quit smoking the way that we got to quit smoking, because it's great. And it's effortless and it's easy. And I mean,
Thank you, Patrick.
it's unbelievable and it's effective and it's enjoyable and you can quit combustion. Anybody can do it. I'm convinced. And it's unreasonable that people are trying to prevent that. And it is the smoker, but it's also the vapor that's been vaping for like a year or two, who, if the mail ban goes through, they'll lose their access to these products. They don't know how to get their stuff. It's flavor bans where now, Helen in Michigan can't get her Red Vines flavored e-liquid that has kept her off of cigarettes after, 60 plus years of smoking. It's
Well, my mother lives in New York, and I had her this close before the
angering.
9/11. The 9/11, she decided not to switch, and that was 100% because of that whole 9/11 incident.
because of Ivali.
Yep. Which had nothing to do with it, but
it's
it was so
crazy.
conflated. And the New York ads were even worse, by the way.
Were they?
My mother sent me a few of them, and it was just bizarre how bad. I mean, Addie probably saw them and thought it was normal, but they were actually excessive. And
It makes me sick. My state sucks so bad.
Yeah. it's not, you know, New York's a cool state. I like New York and I like New York City. And you know, I say the same thing about California. I'm like, I love California. I was born here. I live in LA. It's awesome here. The state is just run by incompetent people that don't
how's
get
that
it.
one? What's that one's name that keeps getting elected in and nobody likes her? I don't know how she gets elected every year, every time.
Feinstein?
Yeah, how? I don't get it. How do you get elected when I have not
She's
heard
1,000,
anybody,
and she's so
not
out of
one
touch.
person
Well,
I've ever heard.
She gets a lot of funds in her reelection fund.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
who
pay to
votes?
play, man.
When you can put millions out, and you keep hearing that name, it's like
Is
Yeah.
the voting booth. Well, you get nervous.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard of that name. Heard of this name. Heard of that
it's
name.
all. It's also when you are high up in committees, your state gets a lot of good stuff. So if you have
Yeah,
a
if you keep
high-ranking
people
member,
like that in office,
yeah,
you get more stuff.
But I want to say,
California is
to-
definitely a
Go
get stuff
Go
state
ahead, Eddie.
too. We need stuff. Sorry, Eddie, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. Before I forget, I want to say to Tim and John, I want to say thank you to you guys for what you do, and for motivating people to spread, and to care more about mental health and the
Mhm.
people that are struggling out there. So
Mhm.
I just want to say thank you guys.
Yeah, we have to say thank you to the
Thank you,
Vaping
yeah.
Misfits because that was
I was just gonna say Akira and the Vaping Misfits.
mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a real good support system. I think we kind of lean on each other both ways, across the different shows and different, things that we've been really fortunate to have them and kind of bounce ideas off of them and have them to work with us on different things, and we work with them.
That's
And
awesome.
it's just been awesome. I think it's something that wasn't, this is my year. In case you guys haven't caught some streams this year, this is my year for pushing positivity.
100%.
You can't change what comes at you, but you can change how you react to it.
High
Right.
fives.
That's all you have. Right.
Yeah.
That's all you have. And so, just putting that positive aspect in people's mind, don't let those things weigh down on you. That's kind of been what I've been on this year. And it's just, because we didn't know what was coming at us when this all started. Now we know, sort of, we kind of know what to expect. If it's a lockdown, it's a lockdown. If it's, there's things. And so we've kind of learned to live with, unfortunately, what's become normal for right now. I won't say the new normal, but I will say the normal for right now because it's gone on for so long. But you can change the way that you see that in positive, forms if you look for them.
Well,
I've been saying this for a while, but a positive form is people are aware that depression really exists. These are people that didn't know depression, anxiety didn't really exist to them. Now with the pandemic, they're realizing it. So that's a way to get people are understanding it and then being more accepting of the fact that this is hidden illness.
Because it's real. It's suddenly real for a lot of people. And one of the things that helps me, it's like, you got to celebrate little victories, man. It's like, it sucks right now. So yeah, you take out the trash every week and you don't think anything of it. It's like, no, bro, you take the trash out every week. Like, you celebrate that.
I took the trash out.
You're getting something done. It's like, I clean the house. I'm getting something done. It's
Right,
like,
exactly.
Make your bed. You get it done. It's like, you celebrate that. You're like,
Exactly.
yeah, accomplish something. Just little victories.
After, and I can't claim it for myself because it was after we had Sean Typhoon on, but I got to really thinking about how much junk we wake up with in our brain.
Oh,
By the minute you wake up, it's like boom, 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 right?
yep. 100%.
So if you can just take a second to let all that stuff run through your brain before you start to think about your day, you find your day goes a lot smoother. Just let it in one ear and out the other, kind of like it was a river. Just let it kind of flow.
Things I recommend during now more than ever. You know how everybody, like when we were younger, it was always watch the news in the morning. Don't watch the news in the morning. Avoid the news in the morning, because that's
Don't
like
ever
one of
watch
the
the
worst
news.
things you can right now.
No.
For one, especially once you get deeper into the advocacy factor, and I will blame Mr. Grimmgreen as a major factor why I got more into it. You start to realize the news is not very reliable to begin with.
No,
so
it's not.
You're just gonna, and they can make headlines off the depressing subjects. So don't watch the news if you don't want to feel down in the morning. Maybe watch it at night, later at night, evening, not right before bed, but like evening news. Fine.
Yeah.
Morning news, I do not recommend.
Yeah.
I think it's a sad fact that the local newsmen and meteorologists have been killed off by apps. Let's check the app. They're like, yeah.
I can see the forecast on my watch.
My phone shows me. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to know how Nick got out of painting the bedroom. That's why you came on the vlog.
I still have to go paint. There's parts of this job that only I can do. You know, I'm usually the detail guy. I like doing trim and doors. I like working with a roller, but it's not as satisfying to me as detail work.
One of those straight lines.
Yeah, straight lines across the trim
Pickle, paint
too.
the room, please.
So yeah. Hey, this is part of her birthday gift. She wanted this bedroom. We're painting. We've been into really dark colors lately, and I don't know why, but we painted our living room this color called Ocean Abyss. It kind of looks like Light Bearer's room, just all dark walls.
Right.
Dark walls, and so our bedroom is going to be. It's called something for Everglade something. So it's like this really deep green color. And it's awesome. And she's all stoked for it. So she's like, can we paint on my birthday weekend? I'm like, yes, we can.
Oh.
So
we're painting white.
Yeah.
Did you do the whole thing where you went to the home center and looked at all the paint chips and were like, I don't know.
Yeah, we got paint. We bought samples. We had 3 paint samples on our wall, on every wall in our bedroom it was like 2 weeks. Maybe not 2 weeks, maybe like a week. We had a bunch of samples and we finally decided on the Forest Everglade color, and we did the first coat and it looks okay. But the second coat is where everything gets awesome with dark colors. So they're doing the second coat now, and I have to go do trim work eventually, whenever.
Your wife says dark Everglade.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a really dark Everglade, like dark green color. It's
That's
awesome. It's what she wanted. So happy birthday.
Casey says there's plenty of edging left to do for you. So
okay,
so
good.
You know.
Yeah, good. Yeah, dark Everglade.
Fire.
You can start it. You can start it if you want to, Pickle.
Dark
I know
Everglade.
you
That sounds
can.
like a gaming name or something for
Dark Everglade, yeah.
Yeah.
Dark
Everglade bedroom.
Did you ever get a chance to do any relaxing things like trying to game again? You talked about it a while back. Did you ever get a chance to do any?
No, I haven't. Not gaming, but I miss playing video games, but I miss doing other stuff more. Like I miss playing guitar and drawing. And so I try to draw on my iPad as much as I can. And with that little orange amp, like I was playing guitar today, I try to play guitar a little bit more. It's pretty cool. Like I reconnected with one of my old buddies from high school who we haven't talked in, I don't even know, probably 14 years, something like that. But we were in a band together. We were in like 7 different bands together, 8 different bands together. And he still plays guitar and he lives out on the East Coast. And so we've been talking about like playing music, like writing music again. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's write music.
Does this mean maybe one of these live streams on your Instagram? Maybe we can.
Yeah, it could just be. Yeah, it could just be me and my buddy Jim. Like we were in so many bands together. We recorded so many songs together. And yeah, he's a good dude, and so it's been fun. Like I don't know, I like having different creative outlets and stuff like that. It's been really, really helpful overall for the overall mood and feels.
Right. I mean, we already talked about how you're valuable to the community, and of course you've got your live streams and all the advocacy, but it's kind of like eating oatmeal every day, right? You want to have you kind of want to have a little mix in there, right?
Yeah,
a little something different, and to make you that whole rounded person.
Yeah.
We kind of talked on our show about I've taken this will be the second week and been on replay live. I check in for a little bit and then I come back and I watch the replay so I can spend time with my wife.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of been like a refresher for me to come back and and this coming week I'll come back to doing watching the live streams and stuff, but it's kind of just taking that step back.
Yeah, 100%.
Kind of breathing. The streams will be there when I tune in. I'm not going to miss anything.
100%.
And I think that's a refreshing thing too,
It's like somebody took some time off for Christmas and was still live every day almost. Yeah.
I did take some time off. I'm still going to take some time off. I'm trying to work some time off like into my regular schedule just so I don't run into that like burnout phase again, and because I think that is important to step away, like you said, like just to, the live streams will still be there. And honestly, as a streamer myself, I get a little thrill when I see someone back who I haven't maybe seen in like 3 or 4 weeks or like a month or two, and suddenly you see this person back, you're like, oh, it's like, it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, welcome back. There he is.
Well, part of that's the struggling of the money situation for people, whether or not they had to take some time off because of the pandemic
or for whatever reason.
Like my daughter right now is off work at least for a couple weeks because she just tested positive when she went to go back to college. So I'm going to have to isolate for a little while. We'll see what happens. Come to the hospital if I feel sick.
Yeah, you have to self-quarantine.
Yep. Because she was here Wednesday, so the chances are pretty high we were at least exposed. So.
Self-quarantine life, yeah. See, that's the thing. What Matt was, Matt Cully, who I also love, and is also great for this community and is a great advocate. He was on my Tuesday Bro News Day, and we were talking about when we went to New Zealand, and we all got sick in New Zealand.
Yep.
And he's like, bro, do you think that was COVID? And I said, maybe. Because we were at a vape show. We were at a vape show with people who just got off of a plane from China, like a bunch of Chinese vendors, fresh off the plane from China in New Zealand. And we all got sick for like days. Like I was sick for days.
You were sick pretty bad too with that cold.
I was. There was one day I didn't even get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything. It was horrific. And Bogan's like, I got a fresh joint. I'm going to get in the hot tub. Come on, get in the hot tub. We can smoke a joint. And I'm like, oh, I want to so bad. And I can't. And I feel so bad. Like, it was bad.
Yeah, it's hard to say if it's been around before because we got sick right around the time you were sick. Honestly, we were both sick at the same time. So it's not impossible. Like, they might have been a little slow with like they are with everything. Letting us know.
Well, I mean, we knew in December that it was a thing. We knew in January it was a thing. Even in February, I flew to Amsterdam and back.
Yep.
Like,
remember that?
And it was like a week after I got back from Amsterdam was like lockdown.
Yeah, it was. It was right around that time. I remember you talked about this the other day. I watched a stream the other day with you and Matt. So.
Yeah, I still trip out about that.
Speaking of Matt, shout out to him for the fact that when we're on my son's birthday, which is December 29th, and not this year, but the previous year, he was a major factor, and he said a few nice things that actually helped me get through that. He actually... Oh, nice. His heart shows, too, just saying. He's got those hearts he wears on his sleeve as well.
He does. He's
I love Matt and B.
He's a good
awesome
guy.
People.
Yeah, he's a good guy. They're great.
And another one, although he's not as popular lately sometimes in certain sects, but Jay Hayes was also there for me during that time, too. So
Jay Hayes is a good guy. I like Jay Hayes.
Me too.
But
I mean, he can get ornery. Let's be honest.
It's actually a lot of it is drama sells, kind of thing. But
100%.
He's still got a big heart, believe it or not. If anybody doesn't think so, he does.
Yeah,
he probably is going to hate me for saying that, but whatever.
Yeah,
he does.
But that said, you guys have. I can't even say it. There's like two different aspects of how this works. Like, if you're ever watching on the vlogs, you know this. Life has a chat has a life of its own, and then the vlog has a life of its own. And there's many times where Nick doesn't even understand what's going on in chat until a while later. He comes in, what are you guys talking about? And a lot of times, Addy's actually the one that's designing this situation in chat, or at least creating it in some way for him. So it's like you get 2 in 1 if you really pay attention. It's more than just one thing. I love the fact that when chat has life.
Yeah.
When chat has a life of its own.
I love it when Michelle has to text Nick for something.
Yeah.
Nick hydrate.
Yeah, I know.
Talking about that.
Or we throw a super chat in, but then he forgets to do the super chats.
Yeah. I know. I don't know. I still don't know what the protocol is. I do them. I just like doing the super chats.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great way to go.
I haven't brought myself to push that button. I could, but I'm not. I can't do it yet.
Yeah, there's no pressure for the super chats.
But it's talking about the chat being a life of its own. That's like it's like the community going to a house party. I mean, they may never see each other, but that chat is always popping in all the shows. Really, that chat goes on. It may not have nothing to go on. Yeah, with anything that's going on the screen, and most times it's not. But that's great too. That to be able to come together like that, and that's part of the community aspect.
Absolutely, and you can see people helping each other in the chat all the time.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more and more of that, and that's something like reaching out to people that are, struggling or might be struggling or anything, and checking on people even in your chats. I was seeing more and more of that, and I love seeing this grow because this is how we keep each other mentally okay. Yeah. It really is. And I like how when you do catch something in chat, like some major issue, like someone's having something, you'll stop and make sure that's addressed. Yeah. And that's something that not everybody does that, but you do. And that's something that's one of the reasons why you're here tonight. And I wanted you here with Addy because the two of you combined create.
I like it. I'm thankful to have Addy Tuney in like every live stream chat, most every live stream chat. He's there unsolicited. He just shows up. And he's a moderator, and he gets the links, and he takes care of troublemakers, and he keeps people talking, and he's just so fun to hang out with. And he's like, your bud in chat, and I'm thankful to have Addy Tuney there. 100%.
I love you. That's why I love you.
I love you. Aww.
Well, I wanted to get the two of you together because between the two, there's like two lives that go on at the same time when it happened, and the two of you create the heart and soul of that situation. And I see you pop up in other chats as well when you're not on your streams. Like you showed up last night in a couple chats.
I try to,
which you probably should have been helping paint more, but okay.
Well, but Nick, Nick does an amazing job of running the vlog, doing all he has to do with that, which is in itself a lot of work and a lot of stress. Stuff. But he catches like everything in chat too. He's watching chat. He's doing all the things. He's reading the articles. He's putting stuff on screen. It's like amazing.
It's tough
what you can do.
It is. It's a tough one-man show, but it's fun though. Like it's fun, and that's part of why I love live streaming and why I love doing the vlog is because like I have a background in music, and so I like performing, and I like preparing the show and getting everything ready and getting the beer ready and picking it out and getting all the bumpers and getting my stuff ready to go. And then just like, welcome to the show. Here we go. And
What's
it's fun.
The first day go clack today?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you never know what's going to happen. And it's like, fun. And I love it. And having Addy in the chat, I never have to worry about the chat.
Yep.
That's not having that like weighing me down. It's great. It makes a better vlog. I mean, Addy Tuney in the chat makes a better vlog because I don't have to worry about it. People have fun, and troublemakers get dealt with.
Not only
is Addy awesome, you have some awesome moderators in there as well that take care of business, pop in and out. Are taking care of your time steps for you. Just awesome.
People help out, and Jeremy's great, and it's fun. It takes a lot of people to pull off the vlog, and it's a lot of fun. And I like your house party analogy, because that's fun, and I like having fun, and I like people having fun, and it's cool. And that's just like I've just tried to cultivate that. Like, let's all hang out and be cool. I'm earlier we're talking about that, and I'm very much an advocate of like gates open, come on in. Come hang out. What are you doing? You're new here? Who cares? Come hang out.
Until you run a stream, you don't understand what's like.
Yeah. I have to ask, on the laser drill, how many lasers are on the laser drill?
I'm getting some help with the laser drill. Our very own, you guys know Foot Clan Dan. Yep. Foot Clan Dan lives in the Los Angeles area. And I lent him one of the lasers because he's trying to machine like something I can just plug into the chuck that's going to hold 3 lasers. So when it's finally completed, it's going to be a triple laser drill.
That's what I was thinking of doing something like that. So you can even have them on rotating arms and do it
like
printer.
Yeah. Oh, if they could be like articulated arms. Yes. And you could do like patterns, like you could have them spaced. Oh, so
if I get a hold of a 3D printer, that was my plan.
You've come a long way with the from masking tape.
you inspired me with a laser drill, and I'm just doing the old backwoods way. I'm going to get a circle. I'm going to cut out a circle of wood, and then I'm going to drill the holes for the lasers.
Yeah,
and then do screw clamps on either side of them to hold them in.
To secure them in.
And just fit them with a chuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. I've got like 5 of them just sitting here waiting for that project.
Nice.
Well, those lasers are cheap. They're like $20. You just buy one a month. Before you know it, you're like, I got 100 lasers. You know.
Then you do a laser show that blinds the neighbors
Yeah.
from inside the house.
Yeah. I can only use lasers inside the house. I live under where planes fly, and that's like
No.
We've got 20 acres, so I can go out and terrorize the livestock with them.
Yeah, perfect. But lasers are use them like God intended. Yeah.
Has anybody ever tried that? Like, if we go fishing and you play the laser pointer, you can actually get the fish to chase it. They'll chase it just like a cat or a dog sometimes. Not always, but sometimes you can get them to chase the laser.
Really?
They try to eat it. Yeah, it's fun. I've done it a few times.
Can you like lure them to where the worm's hanging? Like,
yeah, exactly.
That
Right
actually doesn't seem to work. I tried
you
doing
go.
that, but once they chase the laser, they're really not interested in whatever your bait is. I've tried that. It didn't work. But it did get them to run out and move anyway, so it was kind of neat. But yeah, I'd like to get some nature footage this year. I got the pond and stream. Yeah, and I won't keep you too much longer there.
Oh, no, I wasn't pressuring you. I was just time checking.
Yeah, we got kind of time check because you got some painting to do.
I know. It's going to be worth it, though. It's going to be worth it. I complain about it, but I know it's going to be worth it. There was one night where I had some, shed time, and I was upstairs, and I'm telling Pickle, I'm like, it's going to look great when we paint in here. And I want you, when I'm complaining about this, to remind me of this moment right now when I'm really excited about it, when I think it's going to be great. Remind me of this. And so today she's like, remember, you think this is going to be great? I'm like, I know. I'm on board. Okay.
Speaking of, I don't know if anyone's into Yo-Yo, they probably have listened to it already, but the new podcast that your wife's doing.
Oh my God.
That is just so great.
Michelle and Potato, the podcast for the people. Oh yeah. Yep. It's a good one.
It is.
I've only listened to like one episode, I think.
Yeah, we haven't listened to them all. We got to catch up too.
Yeah.
I love the 510 connection.
Yeah,
I haven't got to see the 510 connection yet.
That is funny. Hooked on Funk and Disco Potato are funny.
Dude, I haven't got to watch it yet. They are funny. I know they're funny. I want to see that. All right. Okay, that's first on my list. Track down the 510 connection.
Yep.
I'll put the link in chat.
There, she put the link in there for you so you can find it later.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. We have so many talented people in this community, not only casters, not only spinners, not only, people doing, coils, liquid, mods. Jake Scrapwood comes to mind, doing his.
Jake.
And we have so many talented people in this community that are just so welcoming. Yeah. And just say, hey, come on in,
Yeah.
Let's have a seat on the couch, There's pie. There's cake and pie.
I'm not sure which one you ever tried first, but Nick, do you remember the first time you either tried one of Addy's liquids or one of his modifications?
Oh, yeah. Well, I tried one of his modified K-Funs at Niagara Falls. That was the very first time.
That was the very first? Live
and in person. In fact, at Niagara Falls, Addy Tuney gave me this neon green, like, rag. It was like a big rag. And it was amazing. At a vape show, having a rag is everything because people are dripping around all over the place and everybody has an RTA and everything gets messy. So you want to clean up. So from that day forward, I carried that rag to every vape show that I went to, jammed in my back pocket with it dangling out a little bit. I carried the Addy Tuney rag with me to every vape show that I went to until for years. And finally it was sometime in 2017, it finally went missing. I think it went missing on the vape tour, actually.
Wait a minute.
There's a good chance of that.
That's 4 years you had that thing carried
But
around?
I used that rag forever. It was awesome. Yeah. And that's the first time I tried one of Addy Tuney's. And it's an Addy Tuney because it's a modified K-Fun that's heat treated. And that's like the signature Addy Tuney thing. And there's always a stainless steel build in it. He always puts a build in them.
Yep.
Great.
What was the first liquid you remember trying from him? Because I know he's done some renditions for you.
Yeah, he did the Yig clone. I have some right here. He did the Yig clone. You did 2 different Yigs, but they're like the egg tart Yigs, right?
Yeah. I don't even know what I said. Yeah, I make
Yeah.
so much.
There's a bunch. Yeah, there's a bunch. They're good stuff. That's one of the things I love is getting DIYs from like subscribers or whatever Patreons.
Look at what Sifu, it's like all days now.
Yeah, and Sifu. So yeah, Sifu does good stuff, and Moharno made me some bangers like that mentholated mango. Man, I just love that.
That just doesn't even sound like it'd be that great, but I guess
I don't know. Moharno did it good. I couldn't get enough of it. It was like in a 12 milligram though, so I like mouth to lunged it. It was awesome.
But another one is a mentholated guava. You wouldn't think would be good either, but it's benthol is just so good.
Yeah, benthol's great. Benthol's a coil killer though, man.
It is.
I love coil killer.
I love DIY because you get told the same thing that you got told when you started vaping. Oh, it's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
Then your flavor list gets like this long.
It's so much cheaper until you start buying stuff. Yep.
Yeah, it's so much cheaper. He can buy 2 houses for what he has on his shelf.
So true.
Seriously.
So true.
Yep. Actually, I just made my first order from VSO, and I won the thanks to Anthony giving up one of his slots there, I got the Flavora kit, and that's why I made that chocolate caramel donut I told you about before the show.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of, if I get that bumped up and it tastes good, maybe I'll send you some. I have your address now, so
dude,
maybe I'll send you something
I'd love to try it.
Because actually, I was amazingly surprised that it actually turned out decent. It turned out really good, actually. I did not expect that. I've heard so many horror stories on chocolate. I thought this is
chocolate is tough. It's one of those. There's very few really good chocolates that I've had because it always reminds me of like gross sticky kid hands, like sugary sweet sticky chocolate, like grossness.
Yeah.
In its current form, without doing any tweaking, the original one, it tastes like a Dunkin' Donut chocolate donut.
Yeah, see, that sounds awesome.
So, I mean, I actually think if it do a separate rendition, it'll be kind of labeled different or something. Because I think this is going to be one I'll make again for myself. And she absolutely loves it and hates it because she used to work at Dunkin'. So it kind of reminds her of working at Dunkin'. So.
I love Dunkin' Donuts. I love a good donut, man.
But do they even sell donuts anymore? They're just Dunkin' now, right?
They are Dunkin' now.
Yeah, it's Dunkin'. Just Dunkin'.
Rebrand. Let's rebrand.
We get our donuts like maybe once a month, twice a month. We like to get donuts from this place around the corner. It's just called Yummy Donuts. And that's it. And they just sell donuts, and it's just this family that runs this donut place. And I feel like I want to give them money every week. Like, you need to exist always. You need to be my local donut place. And they're the greatest donuts. It kills everything. Krispy Kreme, Dunkin', forget about it. These donuts rule.
Apathy Miller brings up a good point. Flavor concentrates got better over the years as well. But I will say there are a couple that, like, I actually got to try the original Ben. From Rescue.
Ben's good.
The OG Ben versus now Ben. The OG Ben is completely guava. They don't make it anymore. So unfortunately, you can't get the OG Ben anymore. And Nick sent me the last bottle he had. Well, it was the second to last bottle he had. And
damn,
I'm telling you, the flavor on that was, you think Ben's good? If you ever got a chance to try the original Ben, it is leaps and bounds beyond.
I had a bottle of Ben with the white label on it.
Yep.
Before the black labels. Was that the original Ben? Because that was really good.
I believe so. The one I got.
I think that's the OG, yeah.
Yeah, the OG.
Yeah.
There's this guava flavor that I've had. Maybe I'll put this in the random liquid tasting next week. All right, there you go. It's called Guava Smash, and I've been dying to try it because I like guava flavors. But I don't know how this one will be.
Yeah, this week I had to vote for one that I was pretty sure you'd like, because the previous week I voted for one I wanted you to try because I had doubts. So you got stuck with it, and it's like, okay, well, now I feel bad.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
That's what
it is. That's what the random liquid tasting is. Might be a banger, might not.
Nick's is like, no more Filipino flavors, please.
Yeah, no more. Indonesian flavors, man. There's some. I still keep around a bottle of this Indonesian liquid called I can't remember what it is. It's like fruits exploding on the front of it. Anyway, it's the most heavily mentholated culotta mentholated flavor that I vaped. If you take like 2 big rips off of this, it will give you like a cold headache. It physically harms you. Like, it's so mentholated. It's crazy, but they love it. It's just one of the flavors that they dig down there. And that's awesome. I can't vape it though. Some of the other stuff Indonesia does is awesome though.
Friction is one of the ones that, the Fresh 03 crew and Addy are the ones that got me to pick my flavors. Like VSO even commented to me about the my flavor picking, but it's because I've been watching the show for a while and I know what flavors they all brave about. So it's like, I'm getting those ones. So
I'm gonna mix some fire. What's the first one you're gonna mix?
Actually, I got 3 recipes that Fresh actually put together for me. There's
sick.
A blueberry custard crumble. There's a strawberry or raspberry cheesecake, and then there's I forget what the third one was. Do you remember? She'll tell me in a minute. I guarantee.
A pumpkin, maybe.
See, both of those already sound awesome.
But but Fresh actually put them together for me on Wendy's stream. Remember, and put them in chat. That's what I have. I don't even have anything written out. I have screenshots of the actual flavors. So
I love Wendy's
setups. Yeah,
Wendy's great.
It is. Being able to watch these shows and having everybody kind of interact makes a huge difference too with learning. Because I honestly would never have attempted this if it weren't for watching, KVTV and the Mixing Up crew, and then watching Wendy's show and then Fresh's show. Between the 3, you learn a lot of little things. And if you have a question, just ask. They'll answer, which makes 100%. It so much easier. I would not have mixed a decent flavor on my second attempt. I guarantee it if it wasn't for watching these shows. So,
you can't go into any of the DIY sites and do it yourself. It's very hard.
Let's be
kind of
honest.
discerning against the flavors and what flavor's good and what flavor's not. It's that experience that helps you to be a better first-time mixer, getting some of that knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm going to be begging Lumi for help when I make my next big order, because I know that she knows most of it and she's patient enough to go through it with me as she has.
I was going to say that earlier. It was awesome how Lumi took Lightbear under her wing and got him started.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's just cool. That's just part of that's just what the community does.
Oh, and for those who don't know, this is not Grimmgreen's first time on the show. It's just the last time it was so bad that I couldn't, in good conscience, leave it up. So,
was it? Wait, why was it so bad? What happened?
Well, for one thing, you were muted for half the show.
Okay, yeah, that's bummer.
I was still learning. Some of the having more than 2 people on it's different. When you have 2 people on or more, and I did a lot of it solo before that. So now I got a little bit better at it. It should be less dangle clacks tonight, hopefully.
I know.
But that said, but here's the bad part about that. I meant to take it down, but I didn't mean to delete it. Guess what happened? And because I was a new channel, I couldn't fix it. It wouldn't let me fix it, so it's gone forever.
Okay.
In the ether. But
forever for the people that saw it, it was just pure magic, and that's gone forever.
And the after show was actually hanging out with you for a bit. That was just, it was just so awesome. Hanging out with you and Casey. It's so much fun.
Yeah, that was rad. And Casey's just fun. Any room she gets into, it's a good time. She's awesome.
And our rabbit still, whenever she sees her on any show, still tries to get her out of the screen. I don't know why it's her. Only her. But we'll try to pull her out of the screen. I don't know why. Haven't figured that out. Apparently she wants her own Casey doll. You're going to have to make one. So, but yeah, it's been...
Yeah.
And Addy's been on before as well. That's more recent. But I just, having you both on at different times and knowing how much you care about the community made me think, I got to get these 2 together on a show.
Yeah.
And I was so thankful you guys figured out how to have time at the right time to be together on here. It's just, you guys are my brothers. I mean, obviously when I really get in advocacy mode, it's basically Grimmgreen and Logan that I'm always playing off of when we get really going. I've been trying to step back a little bit because I know what's coming. We're about to have a big fight all over the place. You can feel the storm brewing, and I'm trying to stay back so I don't burn myself out when it kicks in. So that's where I'm at.
So we got a new CDC director. There's some things happening. We'll see how it goes. You know, everybody said science. They're following science.
Yeah.
And look, we got a lot of it. There's one piece of it in particular. If they could pick one thing to present to them, there is a Democratic think tank called the Progressive Policy Institute that did their own analysis and came to some really positive conclusions on vaping. And this is from their own party, their own Democratic think tank. Like, it could be a really powerful thing to present to them. Like, you said science, here's your science that you did, that your party did. Science.
Yeah. I think that's the duality of it is I think that we all know that fight's coming, and we're ready to do that for people that haven't had a chance to quit yet, the way we all got to quit, right?
Oh.
But also that other part of me that positivity kicks in is you're never going to kill it. It's not going to happen.
You can't. No.
Yeah. I mean, so certain online stores still carry boxes that you could mod into mods. No big deal. Like when it all first started, right? Batteries, lead, some wiring, and I'm done, right?
Yeah.
So, you're never going to kill it. And that's the positivity. So it's like, it's never going to, if we had to go in a worst case scenario, you had to teach one person one by one how to get off of them, it could still do it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, this is the underground. Like, that's what we do. We help each other out on Facebook groups and in chats and it's not mainstream. It's not the mainstream anymore.
Apathy Miller just said it, helped him to start talking about his mom's dying and stuff. That's been happening more and more. And that's what I've been pushing for, mostly in chats, if you haven't noticed, is people reaching out to each other and letting people know. Because, think about it like, I keep on referring it to like crowd surfing. If you're crowd surfing and there's nobody or one person trying to catch you, you're going to go to the floor and maybe hurt somebody in the process. Yeah. But if you have enough people there willing to help you, you'll easily just float around the room. And that's kind of...
That's a really good thought. And I just brought something to mind, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over the last little part of your area. But I think it's a really good thought is that, if you go to a party and you stand on the wall and you leave complaining that nobody talked to you, if you get active in chat, the vaping community is very loving and very helping, just like Addy puts in the chats all the time. We want to help people. We want to be there for people. We want to help people in whatever way that we can. But it helps us if you comment.
And you really don't even have to say much. All you have to do, it's literally just like, hi. Oh, hey. It's like what the, hi. Yeah. And I try to call it I try to do that with new people, not like embarrass them, but if I see a new name in chat that I've never seen before, it's like, what's going on, chat? I'm like, hey, that guy. He's here. Right? Welcome.
Yep. I remember that fanfare. Not John Haymaker again. Oh.
Yep. Well, most of my friends live in my computer. They're starting to complain it's cramped. I'm going to have to start adding on. So
we need to add rooms on. Speaking of Friction, just said something. How are you doing, Friction 2600? I mean, I haven't talked to him in a little while and checked in and asked how he's been feeling because he just got finished with a, pretty bad cold. I'll call it that. So, yeah. Oh, the bunny. Yeah, the bunny. She already brushed out the bunny before the show. So the bunny will be here for Casey to see after the show. So, if she wants to hop in for a minute,
we'll be painting.
So we know that
we'll be painting
when both of you are on screen or in chat. We know that you bring people up in the community, right? That's just a given. And if you didn't know that, I'm telling you that you do. So does the chat and streams ever bring you up from a level where you were like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Have they helped you in that way? Like reciprocal?
Definitely. 100%. Yeah, constantly. I mean, for a while there, the summer was a real rough time here for me. And there was a lot of times like I would wake up on Thursdays kind of throughout the summer and be like, I don't want to vlog tonight. Like I'm not feeling into it. But then I start doing it and Casey always has to remind me. She always says, you always feel so good after the vlog. Remember that you feel good afterwards. And I'm like, I know I do. And then I really do. I'll start streaming and I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. That's right. I get to have fun and hang out with my friends, and this is great, and I love it. And there's been plenty of days, especially, I mean, this, you think about like the summer of 2020, a lot of those vlogs were really like super beneficial to me and my mood and keeping me like a normal, sane, healthy person. It's really reciprocal.
I remember one particular vlog that you started off and you even mentioned that you weren't feeling that great. And that's when we got all those snack foods. And by the end of it, you and Casey were so excited.
Yeah.
And I think she ate a good portion of snacks before you even got done with the vlog.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's just
because you were complaining. You're like, I want some of those too. Don't eat them all.
You know? It's good.
How about
it was
reciprocal?
And you got 2 boxes of snacks that day.
I know. Yeah. So many Jimmy Dodgers. It was unbelievable.
Yep.
But
you started that vlog in a kind of a mood.
Yeah.
And by the end, you were so hyper.
And that's happened a bunch. Like I start vlogs in like a mad mood, and then it'll cheer me up, and I'll be in a fucking awesome mood at the end of it. So
same for me. Sometimes I'll come in, I'm not in the greatest mood, and you know, you get everybody saying hi to you, and it's like, you know, asking about how you are and what's going on, and you know, telling you about, you know, what happened to them and this awesome thing, and next thing you know, you're all pumped up and great.
I mean, so what about so what about you, Eddie? I know, I mean, you're usually pretty positive anyways, but with the transfer of retiring from your career, and are there times when you just like feel like, hey, I need to go jump in a chat. I need to, you know, be where the fam is, you know, for better lack of the word, right?
I don't know what I'd do without the show, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, Addie's also, I think, considering moving to Vermont, right?
Well, you know, we both have elderly parents, you know, elderly mothers, so who knows what.
Yeah.
You
know, have to move them too. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I got 20 apartments. No. Yeah. That said, you know, that's just because New York has become. It was bad when I was there because when I left New York, it was Cuomo Sr. was in there, the dad, and I thought it was bad then. And then Chris Christie, I thought that was bad. And then they got it got worse. I can't believe that could happen.
Worse, yeah.
Well, the videos I've seen from New York, I mean, just politics aside, New York is a ghost town now. I mean,
everybody's moved out of Manhattan.
Everybody's gone. It's an insane video to see the streets almost empty.
Yeah, I grew up in upstate New York, in the Adirondacks, and honestly, the businesses were leaving there anyway. Even back then when I left, that's why I left, is for a job, because everything was closing up and going overseas or going out of country. They just kept moving all the equipment out of the country. So it's been transitioning that way anyway. But the governmental system in place is not helping that system at all. Just keep pushing people away. Who wants to live there more and more? It's not the city. It's not the people. It's the government that actually is causing the issue, in my opinion. So
that's usually the case.
Yep. But that said, I'm going to let everybody wrap it up. I mean, this is going to be really important because Grimmgreen, where could somebody ever find you if they don't know who you are?
It's a small, struggling reviewer.
It's yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. Yeah. I'm Grimmgreen on the internet, Grimmgreen on YouTube. 2 M's in Grimm, though, because I thought that's how you spelled it. And apparently you don't, and it's incorrect. But you can Grimm Green, Twitter, YouTube. That's it. I try to post on Instagram, but I'm bad at it, and I don't like Instagram. So, and then I have a Facebook too, but I don't really ever use it. I don't know what people use Facebook for. So I'm trying to learn how to use Facebook more.
Yeah.
No, all right. It's not worth it. All right, Eddie, I trust you, man. All right, so just YouTube and Twitter. That's it. Grimmgreen. And I'm thankful for
I heard you had a merch store too, though.
Oh yeah.
Cool
is
merch.
Is Casey Pickle in the chat trying to get me to pimp the merch store?
I'm doing that.
Yeah. There is a merch store, grimmgreenmerch.com, and it's all the Grimmgreen swag, all the good shirts and hats and
sticker packs,
hoodies, sticker packs. We're gonna have beer glasses back in stock soon. Our mugs, our yo-yo mugs, are finally out of stock, so we got to get those back in with a new design. So it's fun times. I like to do fun
And then
merch.
you had this cool advocacy page you worked really hard on. I can tell by reading it and watching it.
I have one, but I've been sending people to the CASA site because I think CASA did it better than I did. But they have, I would say, go to the CASA site. You can go to grimmgreen.com/advocate or the CASA.org/education is.
Why don't we say and?
Yeah, and CASA.org/education, and it is great. Talks all about everything you want to know: nicotine addiction, tobacco harm reduction, all the good things.
The great and powerful Danielle Jones put that together.
Yeah, the great and powerful and talented Danielle Jones.
A Tuesday Bro Newsday co-host.
Yeah, she's my far left fact checker, subject matter expert. It's been great having her on. Honestly, she's great. She's funny. She's personable, and she's really, really smart. And when we try, she helps me break down some of this stuff that otherwise, talking about having subject matter experts, she's very well versed in this stuff of bills and data and laws, and she's been helping the show navigate it. She's been really helpful. Awesome. Yeah.
And she knows soap.
And she's very talented graphic design artist too. I mean, she did that CASA site and it looks awesome. Awesome.
Sure does.
She came out a little while ago and to get some DIY pointers, and her and Fresh ended up talking till like super late. They just clicked.
Yeah. I know she's getting into DIY. Well, so many people are getting into DIY.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah. I mean, we are too. I mean, inevitably we are too.
Yeah, that picture the other day was insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of flavors. And Addy, it seems how you don't decide to do your own show. You just want to be everywhere. Where can people see you at? Or maybe catch you in a chat?
In every stream.
Yeah.
I actually did a show on my channel not too long ago. Fresh has been going nuts. He's been super busy at work, and he's been hunting for a house. So he needed a nap because he was the end of the week, and he slept through a show. So Lumi said, "Let's play it on your show." So that's where the Danielle DIY replay is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so now it's like, bam! I got 400 subscribers. I have like 5 videos. Kind of funny. But thank you for the subscriptions.
Yeah, but what else where else could they reach you? What shows do you wind up being in chat for? Because I know most of them because I follow the same ones mostly.
Yeah, Grimmgreen, of course, KVTV. If it has to do with mixing or vaping, I'm probably there.
You're on a couple shows too.
Yeah, Fresh 03.
Yeah, Fresh 03 and Wendy.
Fresh 03.
Wendy
Vape. Wendy Fresh.
Yep. But yeah, and if you haven't seen some of the stuff, check him out on Instagram. You have to go back a ways to see some of it. There's a lot on there. I couldn't believe it when I tried to scroll through to find a picture of Addy, which is not easy because he's like me, avoids camera unless it's alive. I can tell he's at the New York attitude. And I still got to give a shout out to
model or anything.
Still got to shout out Casey because Casey's actually still inspired the very first video on my YouTube channel, that Dollar Tree Pie review, which she didn't realize was me forever because that was before I changed my name to Advocate for Liberty. So, and Lightbear, what about you? Where can people find you at?
People can find me all throughout the interwebs and various vape chats, all across the platforms. They can also find me on Instagram, Lightbear, the number 2, and you. Give me a follow. I'll follow you back. If I don't answer pretty quickly, just shoot me a message because I don't ever catch everybody, but I want to, kind of be there for whoever I can. And you can find us on Thursdays and Saturdays right here on this channel at this time. Remember, be excellent to each other. Give people a little love, a little space, a little understanding. It's not easy, but life is still good. Let's make this year a year of positivity, no matter what we encounter, and everything will be better for it.
Yep.
Tim?
Yeah. Reach out to those people you haven't heard from or might be struggling during this time. That could be even if it's possible, donate some time or money into something like a food pantry or some time into something. that it'll make a big difference. And to spread the spread some of this and break the stigma about the mental illness and such. If someone's struggling, and make sure and check on those that you think might actually be depressed to the point where they might, if you haven't heard from.
Yeah.
And like these two down here, I mean, even in passing, you know, it becomes a part of your life and it becomes so natural you don't even realize you're doing it. And these two guests tonight really, really emphasize every moment of their life is that way. That's what you do. I mean, that's how Grimmgreen came into existence. You were trying to help people.
Yeah,
Think about it. You even started off that way.
Yeah. So it continues that way too. Well, and that's why, that's why I love the vlog so much is I know, there's people I talk to that like look forward to it and they'll DM me afterwards and be like, I was having a cruddy day. Thanks for a fun vlog. And I'm like, all right, like, cool, man. Thank you. That's really, that's really motivating.
You're making a difference, Grimmgreen.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Before we go, Nick, if you would do me a huge favor, there's an amazing graphic artist over in the UK, Jenny Sins Designs.
Oh, yes.
If you would just say hello to her and give her a good wave.
Yeah. Yeah. Janae's Designs. I'm familiar. She drew Jess Marie DHD. She drew myself as well. Hello to you. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm holding a Grim Army guitar pick in my hand.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you start playing again. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Dude, it's been fun. It's just plinking around, but it's still fun. Real loud, distorted. It's fun.
That's creamy metal.
You got to have a creative outlet, right? You got to,
right.
Make time for yourself. Do something fun just for yourself.
Creative outlet.
Treat
I got
yourself.
Plenty of guitars.
Yeah.
Problem is, the neighbors in Lady Liberty just won't let me play them because of my pad. So.
Yeah, Casey makes me use headphones a lot of the time, but it's okay.
That's a good idea. I should get the headphone. I have a headphone jack on my amp. Why don't I use that?
Headphones, dude.
Yep. All right. Well, that said, you guys all have a good night. Everybody in chat and then replay. And reach out to each other. Reach out in the family. Everybody here is going to be there for you as best they can. Love you all. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Sure, guys.
Love you guys.